Fumble through! Fumble through! Fumble through! Fumble through! Fumbling through, fumbling through. Fumbling through, fumbling through. Fumbling through!
I got 2 turntables and a microphone, and I'm here to get down. So y'all, welcome to Fumble Through.
Fumble Through.
A podcast that freestyles with all the swagger of a straight-up fool. How you doing, people out there in the wide yonder? We're here in the confines of your ears, real happy that you could take the time once again to sit with us. I'm the Wolf Man, and this is my pack. Wow! In real life, guys, we have had a spell of sickness, so we haven't been in the same room as each other for a long time.
Doesn't mean as a wolfman you have to sniff my butt.
And I'm really excited, but I think you'll find that some of us have some really croaky voices because there has been some sickness. So I apologise in advance if there's coughing, if there's spluttering, if there's snotting, if there's any of that kind of stuff. But look, I need to know, how are we, people? Family's all good? People all good?
Yeah, I'm all good.
Okay. Good talk.
Back at work, you know.
Oh, how are you finding that?
Yeah, it's there.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's still there. Didn't burn down or anything.
You look refreshed, though. Like, you don't look like a man that's haggard and back at work. So I'd say...
I like
How many weeks did you have off?
14.
That's why he doesn't look haggard.
That's enough for the first week of work for you to look like shit because you're not used to it.
Yeah.
How soon since you got back to work did you start contemplating a third child so you can get another break?
I kind of like the
Don't do it.
structure.
The structure of work?
Yes.
Yeah.
Whereas with children, when I was doing the stay-at-home thing, who knew what was going to
And you're a
thrown at
guy
me
who
that
likes
day?
to plan.
You should.
and-
You
and-
set the structure. That's the idea, right?
Yeah, but then,
And
you know.
then you set the structure. They fuck it all up.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
What about you, Luke? How's things in your life been? How are the kids? How's the wife? How's everything?
how's the kid? How's the wife?
We're rappers. I did start by saying we're rappers, and Lindsay's my backup. Right there, that's like insane in the membrane.
You know that song. You know that meme, though, right?
No.
Hide the kid. Hide your wife.
Oh, they're coming all up here.
Sorry, guys. I was at a D&D podcast. I'm in the wrong room.
I haven't had socialization for so long.
The official party line is everything is fine.
Is that what was that?
That is my closing. That is my statement.
That's very English of you. Keep calm and carry on.
Think of England.
Yeah, go well.
Yeah.
Bit of illness. Yeah, bit of baby reflux. Bit of sleepless nights.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what about the kids?
Yeah. They're fine.
They're taking care of us well.
I've got a question for you.
Okay.
Now that the monarch has been coronated, do you lie back and think of the king or the queen?
I don't lie back.
He's always crowning.
I got 3 kids. So
Please
I don't lie
stop
back.
looking at me in the eye when you say that.
There's no lying back anymore.
Right, yeah, fair enough. Even when you're alone? No.
I got to do that on the move now.
Yeah.
There's too many eyes.
There's 20 minutes drive to work.
Even the toilet's not a sacred space anymore.
What about you, Brett?
Well, I've had, my wife and I have both been
Alright.
sick the last couple of weeks, and it's been a bit shit here. My youngest has some iron deficiency, so he's had headaches, and he's been home. It's really cutting into my being at home playing game time. It's quite sad, actually. I have had a delivery at the table, Justin. I might wonder if you might take a photo.
I would be delighted.
I did pick up a new delivery service called Temu and
Tindamu?
bought a bunch of things that might decorate the table.
Right.
Sorry, a new delivery. Sorry, hang on. A new delivery service called Temu.
Yeah.
Like, is it a guy on a tuk-tuk?
Yeah. I think his name's Mohammed. It does have that feel to it. So I bought about $103 worth of stuff. I've got 300 dice in the middle of the table now.
It is a lot of dice. And do they glow in the dark? Is that what I'm seeing
Some
here?
of them do.
Some-
We got some pictures from, what's that?
There is a tiny little axe
Lovecraft.
here.
Lovecraft.
oh, it's
There
a
we
Lovecraft, is
go.
it?
Some weapons. We got some
Loving these little
bits and pieces all
miniature
around.
swords
Yeah,
and
miniature
scabbards.
swords.
They're great.
There is
Just
a
stuff to
tiny
kind of-
fucking axe here that
Yeah,
I
it's
can
cool,
actually
right?
cut myself on.
I got me some new dice
don't.
because you may recall a little while ago I got rid of some dice at the table.
I was just re-listening to that
And
the other day.
I've got a polyhedral dice set called Loverita, which I haven't even opened.
What? Sorry?
Loverita.
Oh, right. Okay.
Because it's in a heart, love, Mr.
Gotcha,
Lover.
gotcha.
I'm opening it now. Look at that. They're beautiful. They're like, they've got this blood fleck through them. Like there's some kind of vampiric dice set.
Nice.
And I picked up a gift for my people around the table.
Oh.
So there's one of these for each of us.
Oh, well, thank you.
I love a gift.
Nice.
Oh.
And for
Should we describe it? No.
No,
Let's
just
move
go. I also picked up a few extras for people who might be close to the podcast who impress me. I'm willing to send them out to people.
Oh, nice.
They're little pins, and they have a 1 on them. Like you roll a 1 on a D20, and they say, "Misadventure awaits."
I like it.
And I thought of us when I saw that, and I bought a few of them.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, Brett.
You're welcome.
What I
Very
really
cool.
like is this little axe that's sharp as shit, and you can kill yourself on it. I just took
Open your pin with it.
I just took a picture of
Don't
it.
kill yourself with
and you know what I say? Your axe will kill.
Yep. So yeah, I'm really like the table's starting to come along. The room's getting a bit more decoration down here. So I've spent a bit of time down here, kind of homemaking or factory making, I guess.
That is great, Brett. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. That's lovely of you.
Love that.
Oh, I've missed you guys.
This has been here for 4 weeks, waiting for you guys.
Just waiting for us to come in.
waiting. And I've been like, I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to mention it. I'm going to let them walk in and explore on their own.
I do believe I was here the day you got these,
Yeah.
wasn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought for a minute,
Wait, you guys hang out?
what was the place called? So I got to get this so that we can edit it out. But
The dice.
yeah,
The dice are called Loverita.
Yeah, I thought it was a
dice.
charity, and you were saying it was Love a Retard. I was like, we can't air that. We simply can't.
Can I ask you a question? Those dice, I'm looking at it. Are they in some kind of mouth
It
mouth
does
guard?
look like
It
that
looks like a mouth guard, eh?
because they're like vampiric. They've got blood. I think it's a vampire's
yeah,
mouth. But it
nice.
also says a warning on it. Don't put this product close to a fire source. So I'm a little worried. Please keep child under 14 years old away from this product to avoid swallowing.
Under 14.
14.
Okay.
And some of the grammar's not great on it, but, you know, it works.
It actually looks like there's some blood clots in there. They're great.
Yeah.
Oh, they are beautiful dice. Right, well,
Won't
good.
need them today.
Yeah, good talk. Good talk. So, look, I guess we've talked about this before. I guess everybody, while you're sick, I've been a lot sick lately, so I've played a lot of COD. There's been a lot of COD. I'm back on Ark. Relationships in my world are suffering because of it, except for my relationships with people online, which I'm intentionally destroying. So, yeah, it's going really
I played a bit of COD before I got sick with you because you got sick before I got sick.
Yeah.
That was really fun. I really enjoyed that.
It is actually a lot of fun too. The shit talking part of COD is actually becoming one of my favorite bits.
Interestingly, you shit talking your teammates, not other people. So
It's more fun shit talking your teammates because you know what makes them upset.
yeah,
Yeah, when it's randos, they're like, you don't know if it affects them or not. You don't know if you've cut to the core.
I mean, I'm playing on a PlayStation where you guys are all on PC, so you can talk to other players much quicker than I can. I get into a setting and
Yeah, I've
kinda
got a button.
change
I
stuff.
just push a button.
So when we die and you guys are like, oh, come on, mate, res us, come
Yeah.
on. I'm like, I can't even join in this conversation.
That's right.
I can't hear what they're saying. Like, none of it.
Yeah. I do like picking on racist and misogynist people online. They
That's why I stopped playing.
Yeah, spending a lot of time making those people feel horrid about their life
Who you
choices
calling those
makes
people?
me so funny. You people. Speaking of you people, Lindsay, socials.
Yes.
What's been going on?
Well, there's lots of fun stuff going on with sound bites and all that kind of stuff. And TikTok had a bit of a backslide when I got told I wasn't allowed to have TikTok on my phone at work.
Oh,
And then, but now I'm just,
Is it a backslide when we posted one TikTok and then didn't post any more TikToks?
well, I've come up with some ideas now.
Oh, right.
So,
It's not really. We didn't really make it to the top of the slide.
I was going to. Well, it did all right. I was going to record them before you started, but you guys are all talking shit too long. That I just let you guys go. So next week we're recording some TikToks.
Oh,
and they'll
okay.
come out.
Okay.
They'll already be out by the time this episode comes out. But
TikTok.
yes.
On the drop.
Do I need to
Good
prep
stuff.
for a tick and or talk?
No. No, you do not.
Does he have
I
to
will-
wear some kind of rapper's clock around his
I
neck?
want you to be. I'm just going to
Set at
spring them
6
on you.
o'clock.
Is it
I'm not
about
gonna
rock and or
preparing.
roll?
No. Maybe. Who knows? Me.
We know you, Lindsay.
Anyway, follow us on Instagram, Facebook.
Yep, fumblethrough.com.
and, TikTok soon.
Look, there's some
Fumble
special
Through,
stuff we're
Fumblethrough.com.
posting on the Fumble Through Guild. If you want to join up to the Fumble Through Guild on Facebook, do that. There's some interesting bits we're putting in there that we don't put elsewhere. There isn't. We just put all the socials there so you get in one place nice and easy.
We would like to talk to people. Every now and then I drop by and then I think, I wish I had someone to talk to. But then I go play COD and shit.
I would also like you guys to follow on Instagram, brews_by_Frank,
Oh, Bruce
Oh,
by
yeah.
Frank.
who is also provided our brews for tonight.
Has he-
Oh.
Bros brews.
It's a-
Brews.
It's
Sorry,
a
who's Frank?
Brother Frank. Is it Brother Frank?
What?
Franciscus
Franciscus the
of
monk.
the brew house.
Yeah.
The travelling fumble brew.
Brew.
So he's brought a couple of things for us tonight.
Brother Frank.
A couple of things.
Yes.
Oh.
So we have a Tim Tam inspired stout
That get
he wants us to name.
Have me a Tim Tam.
Before you guys pour this, there is sediment in the bottom of both of these
Okay.
drinks. So don't always leave a little bit in the bottom so the sediment doesn't come in. So you can pass them.
How does it go with cough syrup?
it's in there.
And then this
Yeah.
is something for, there's more in the fridge. This is his hop water. So this is non-alcoholic. It's like beer flavored soda water.
Hop water.
Yeah.
Because when he was here, we talked about
not
the beer.
alcoholic.
We
Non-alcoholic.
did ask him for some of that, didn't we?
So pass that
Cool.
down.
Wow.
I don't want it. Fuck off.
Thanks, Frank.
You don't- Fine.
Hop water.
Yep.
Have we got a bottle opener?
Yeah, we're gonna have.
Yeah, I need
we're
a
gonna
bottle
struggle
opener.
if there's
Can I
no
use a
bottle
sword?
opener. Don't you have
No,
a key thing?
no.
Luke, don't you have like this fancy key thing? Doesn't have a bottle
Thank
opener?
you.
in it?
Yes, I spent so much money on this. This will be the first
No,
time I've used it.
I was gonna say,
You got the same thing. Yeah. Orbit key.
Orbit key.
Not a
Because
sponsor.
I remember you getting it. You're like, it's the Mandalorian one, and
Yeah.
I'm like, when are you going to use that? He's like, I'm going to use it all the time.
I got the Darth Vader one. Have you ever used the...
Oh! An accident.
Fucking amateur.
My
Fucking
groin is so wet and cold right now.
You should spill some beer on it.
Oh, I've had an accident.
There's tissues over there, mate. If you want to
You
finish.
got the pee in your pants. It's the coolest. It's everywhere. This is not pleasant.
There's baby wipes
Oh,
behind
right.
you.
That's a substantial sediment as well. I don't think you'd be too worried about getting too much of that in the
I
glass.
can see how Justin's...
Well, I think it's all Tim Tam.
I can see how Justin's having...
Is this sediment Tim Tam? I'm going in for that.
See how Justin's having an accident. Mine hasn't moved and is bubbling over. It's like some kind of nutty professor.
It's going.
thing.
It's going.
I wasn't paying attention, and then all of a sudden I'm like, why is my arms everywhere?
Okay, I'm going in.
So he wants us to name it as well.
Does he?
Yep.
Damp crutch.
Yeah, the pan
all
went
of
up.
them. He wants us to name both of them. So yeah.
Oh no! It's on the cushion.
It's all right. I wash those
Diggity
cushions
damn.
regularly, Justin. Once a decade.
Do we have an idea of the percentage on these?
I think it was like 1.3.
Oh, good.
1.4.
It
Okay.
looks like sarsaparilla.
It is really nice.
Certainly doesn't taste like sarsaparilla. It does taste
Really?
very similar to something we've had.
Well,
I
cheers,
must admit.
Frank.
It's cheers, Frank.
Cheers, Frank. I'm just wiping up the floor.
Let's flip the cushion, Dick.
That's good.
It's worse underneath.
I really like that.
Very drinkable.
Oh, it's got a lovely kind of fizz to it that kind of sits on the tongue and...
Well, as he
And in your lap.
as he told us, that would be the requirement of a stout, right? Isn't that one of the things he said?
What?
No, I
Fizzy
believe
tongue.
hops forward was all I took away.
Well, yes.
Top,
Fuck.
bottom. I
Sorry.
don't know. It dripped into my crutch, and my butt is wetter than the rest of it. It is dripped right down through the taint. It's
It's kind of like my experience on that person's driveway.
I'm just going to stop trying to explain what the beer tastes like for a while. For a bit.
Yeah, we're not at that anymore.
okay. I'm almost done. Oh my god, it's so wet.
Do you want another pair of
That's what she
pants?
said.
Is what she proclaimed.
Do you want another pair of pants?
I'm all good.
So I think as a name, I would like to put forward Crotch Rot.
All right, when you spill beer on your crotch and it goes all the way down and then you sit on a chair, it's cold.
I'll have to take your word for it.
And
Don't make that.
there's a real brew smell about me right now. It's there. Lindsay, how does it taste? Because I haven't tasted it yet.
Right. I think I can taste the chocolate. It's got a little bit of a coffee kind of
Got a very
aftertone.
coffee, lovely look. Yeah.
A bit of licorice in there.
Ooh. That's not even beery, is it?
No.
It's very nice. I'm enjoying that a lot.
Yeah, that's nice.
All right, let's taste it properly and let's discuss. On the nose, I can't breathe.
It smells
It
more
smells-
like Tia Maria to me.
It
than
really
Pure.
does have a Tia Maria. Chocolatey. It's very dark. Although when you look at it, there is so much sediment floating in that. When you look at it, you can actually see like the chocolate. Like it's not just dark.
yeah,
There's
there's
a
half a
real
Tim Tam
brown.
now.
Yeah, it really does have
Oh, shit.
Yours does because you shook
He
it
told
up.
me to bring Tim Tams to drink through. But I forgot.
I think I've got some upstairs.
Look at the
He wanted us to drink it through Tim Tams.
look at the froth on the top. Like the froth on the top
Yeah.
actually has sediment in it. It's lovely.
That's just you.
That's just you. Yeah, mine doesn't do that.
I was going to say.
There's also sediment all through my pants.
That was before you
Oh,
spilled
that's a
it.
good name for a beer. Sediment in my pants.
You know what? I think we should name it
Yeah.
because you guys said it smelled like Tia Maria.
Mm.
And we are a Fumble Through podcast, so I'm going to try and direct it all to Fumble Through.
Yep.
Tia.
Ah. I
You know,
like it. T.
I do.
TR.
Smooth and brown and
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Well done.
It
Well
is.
played.
Yeah. Yeah.
she goes by the name Sweet Chocolate.
Sweet
Okay. she gets in Justin's pants.
Oh. And leaves them all wet. So anyway,
In other news.
thank you very much, Brewski Frank. It's
Very delicious.
yeah, that is top notch stuff right there. I could actually just a carton of that wouldn't go astray.
Oh, it
I
goes
could-
straight in my house pretty
I could
quick.
drink. Yeah, this is a night right here. This is a night around a fire
Oh, yeah.
with some marshmallows.
We've just been getting the fire going actually now in this cold weather. So
you
some
need to bring like a whole wardrobe full of pants if you get a carton.
No, because the fire would warm them up.
just-
Dry them out. It's dribbling down my legs.
That's just old age, mate.
Anyway, look, as with many of us, we have gotten older and it does take us a little while to get going. And sometimes we need something to warm us up before we are right in the mood for the main attraction. And to that end, we have our dicey question. And this week, the dicey question goes like this. If you were going to give a TED talk, what topic would you choose? So what is your topic of specialty? What is your expertise? What is something that you could prattle on for 10 minutes or more about I watched a YouTube video once about some guys who booked a whole TED talk. They had somebody else and they did not prepare anything. They were supposed to go out and wing it and it was hilarious. It was actually pretty funny.
That is a hard question.
I know mine. I've just been writing down what we've been doing. So.
All right.
Oh, you've got a list.
Yeah.
Think of it like, what's your specialty topic on Hard Quiz?
I did a talk once a keynote speech for a bunch of educators on play when I was running a children's festival. And I think I talked to that in a TED talk and I do quite well.
What about Kid?
It's already written. Kid.
Kid and Play? They were a black rap duo from the 90s.
We're very hit and miss tonight.
I don't think we. I think it's more directed in my pants are wet.
I haven't seen the hit yet. Are you expecting that to come?
The hit was the beer and the laugh. That was it.
Anyway, yes, play.
So I talked about playing that keynote, and I quite enjoyed it. And it was all about how adults should learn to play more from kids. And I did videos about kids who do play and what you could do. We ended with a dance party, and yeah, it was really, really fun. I think that would be what I would talk to on a TED Talk.
Okay, I like that. Right, that's something your specialty topic. What about you, Lindsay? Have you got anything yet?
There's lots of things I would like to talk about, but if you said, okay, you need to do a TED Talk tomorrow, why The Incredibles is not a kids' movie.
Oh, now this is good. We've never tapped this. We've never tapped this side of Lindsay before. I would like to hear some of your touch
I have actually
points.
a 3-page document I wrote a long time ago about this. And it goes into the themes of The Incredibles.
Okay.
It goes into the kill counts of The Incredibles.
Oh.
Because they fuck people up.
Who's got more kill counts, Superman in the Man of Steel movies or The Incredibles?
Well, I don't know.
Well, a lot of the Incredibles' death are off scene and talked about as anything that's happened in the past, right?
Yeah, but I'm talking about on scene. So
Who dies on scene?
from my count, watching The Incredibles, Mr. Incredible had eight confirmed kills.
8.
Yep.
And
In
he's-
that movie.
Oh, really?
In the first one.
Civilian
Confirmed.
kills.
No, guards and stuff.
Is he changing his name to Homelander?
Yeah. You know, Dash had 3.
Okay. Wow.
So-
Tash.
This isn't counting all the kind of robots and stuff that they took out.
These are the guys
So
in the
these
little
are the
flying
guards
sorcery
on-
things
yeah.
and stuff,
Right.
right? Yeah, where they explode and...
Ah, yeah.
But yeah, so I could put this up somewhere maybe.
Okay.
But yeah, it's one of the things that I have in
I
my
have a question.
I want to
list.
I
Yeah.
have a follow-up question. Why? What took you to write a 3-page document on the... Is this just something that you was rattling around your brain?
Yeah, it was just something that was there and I had to get it out. And I'm like, what am I going to do with this? And it's just been sitting in my Google Drive for ages.
I am actually keen to
Yeah,
read this
me
document.
too.
Please put... you know you were talking about social... I would like you to do a series of TikToks where you read your essay.
I'd like you to do a series of TikToks
Dressed as Dash.
where you go through Disney movies and talk through the kill count.
How many's Moana got?
But yeah, it's just something that's been in my inbox for a while and I would like to.
Are there other things other than the kill count that makes it not a kid's movie?
The sex?
Kind
drug
of
use?
There's some very suggestive scenes. I
Yes.
will admit that there are some suggestive scenes.
When Frozone get changed?
No cape.
I was thinking
no
more
capes.
with Elastigirl and... Yeah.
Oh, yes, darling. Come on, put on the glove. Come on, put it on. Yes, darling.
No capes.
nuggets.
There is the sexual innuendos, but they put that in a lot of kids' movies these days.
Yeah.
The whole premise of the initial movie start, why the heroes disappear, you know, the kid,
Because the
the guy trying to commit suicide,
Yeah.
and then gets injured
And then
as
sues-
Mr. Incredible saves,
Yeah.
stops him from committing suicide, is pretty dark when you think about it. And like, there's a line I think in it where he says something like, "I saved you," and he's like, "I didn't want to be saved." You know, it's pretty dark
Yeah.
when you think about it. But yeah,
Is that not... I'm pivoting here on this, but you just sort of brought up something. There are kids' movies, though, that are predicated on really... Like, think all the way back to Bambi, one of the first kids' movies. It starts with a mother getting killed, like the deer's mum getting killed. Up starts with one of the most... Like, there is a real parody between Up and the beginning of John Wick. Like, those two movies separate at one point, but, you know... That old man could have turned into John Wick with that opening sequence.
Now, there's a movie right there.
I just remembered the line.
Yeah.
Mr. Incredible yells, "I saved your life," and he goes, "You didn't save my life. You ruined my death."
Oh, wow.
That's the line.
Wow. I'm going to have to go watch The Incredibles.
So,
That's
should
it's
probably
been a
watch
while
the
since
second
I
one.
watched
So
that.
you go back to if you go back to lots of kids' movies, or
Have some dark themes
there are
to
some.
them.
I'm like, I don't know. I mentioned this on the podcast before, where I watched Goonies with the girls.
yeah.
Yeah. That is dark as dark.
What do you mean the dark parts?
The opening scene in the prison where the guy's pretended to
Pretending to
hang
hang
himself. As soon as I came on, I was like, "Oh, I have made an error here," and there was just stuff all the way through that movie where I was like, "Shit."
Okay.
Like mouth talking in Spanish
Yeah.
to Rosalita about a sex dungeon downstairs. Try and explain that one to a 10-year-old. Yep. Yeah. What's a sex dungeon? 'Cause they can read. They can read subtitles. Yeah, that was fun.
But it was hilarious as a kid.
Oh, do you know
it's
what I mean?
hilarious now.
But I don't understand. I watched it around about the age of 10. And what worries me is that I find that funny.
Yeah.
But my daughter has no context. How did I get the context for that as a 10-year-old boy?
Did your dad have a sex dungeon?
Well, it
No,
wasn't.
we couldn't even
it's
afford-
not just the sex dungeon. It's about the drugs because
Yeah.
he makes them out to be a cartel
That's right.
household,
Yeah, there's
doesn't
that.
he?
There's actually a lot of swearing in there.
Yeah.
Far more than I remember. There's a
Yeah,
dead
the
body with a
first-
bullet hole in the head.
The
The
first
FBI
line
agent.
from Chunk is shit
Yeah.
because he smashes his milkshake up against the window.
It was a looser kind of moral
It was.
time.
And the thing when he goes do the truffle shuffle, my kids were horrified. I can't believe they're fat shaming him. Like I'm like, it's all right. Okay. It's funny. Just shut up and laugh.
Yeah, this generation of people. And Data coming in. Yeah. Slick shoe. All right, what about you, Luke? What other than Kung Fu can you do a 10-minute conversation on?
Oh, you're just taking it. That was it. Thank you. Fuck you.
Monks and how to play them. Yeah, what would you do?
It would
honestly,
be a martial arts thing. Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
probably. You do. You are
So
very
it would be,
knowledgeable.
so it would be more looking at like the art of taekwondo, as in the ITF style, not the Olympic style, but how. Yeah, there you go.
Did you say IBS stuff?
Oh, yes. Okay, yeah.
Next time I make a monk,
I like this. I like this. Yeah. Wait till you've all had a go, and then yeah.
flowering
And then,
anus
then
style.
I'll beat the fuck out of you. I will beat you till you get
So,
ideas.
ITS style, not Olympic style.
ITF.
What is
what's
ITF?
The International Taekwondo Federation.
Oh,
so it's
real taekwondo,
it's
not
the
that Olympics
original one
bullshit.
before the there was a split in the 1970s where the Olympic style broke away basically.
We all remember that time.
Sure.
Is Taekwondo... Oh, I guess it is one word. I was going to ask a question, then
It's
I...
3 words, but okay.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it hyphenated?
The do is at the end. Yeah, so it's TAE space KWON
Yeah.
hyphen DO.
But it's just called the ITF.
So the for the
It's not
international.
called the ITKDF.
Oh, I see. I guess yeah. I don't make the rules.
Because the TKF do.
The
I
TKF.
don't know what I forgot it already. The IBS do.
What's stuck in my head now, this IBS monk, is Bruce Lee going, be like water. Water can flow and crash. You put water in a jug, it becomes a jug.
Monk of the elemental shit. That's what I'm thinking.
That's good. That's good.
So, do you think Taekwondo will ever pick up The Sound of Music as a theme song? Taekwondo, a deer. Do you think they'll ever?
Oh, I see how it is, guys. Okay.
I always thought it would pick up the art of house cleaning with Marie Taekwondo.
What about favourite snacks? Twaikon donuts.
My favourite Jedi, Taekwondo gin. We are so fucked. You know what's going to happen? The ITS is going to come to our house and we aren't going to be able to fight back.
The IT.
The ITF?
International Taekwondo Society.
Yeah,
Like a ninja.
Well, have you not heard of the 2023 breakaway ITS from the ITF? It's just like the 70s all over again. It's a real moment in time.
What would you talk about in your martial arts?
Oh, we're done.
TED
We're moving
talk?
What would you talk about martial arts in general, the history? Or would you touch on all of it, or would you go into a specific? Would you go into the moment into the 70s when it broke away? Is there drama there?
Is it like a Cool Runnings kind of moment?
Sure. Right. Isn't somebody buried under a rock? Let's get to that.
Kick it to the curb. What about you, Justin?
What is my specialty subject? My specialty subject.
Today it's shitting on Luke's Taekwondo.
Not being able to use anagrams. Acronyms? Acronyms, not anagrams.
I don't know.
Yeah. My specialty subject, I'm not knowledgeable about a lot, and I forget more than I remember. I'd like to think that if you ask me off the top of my dome to talk about anything, it would probably be The Princess Bride. I think I'm pretty knowledgeable about that. I think maybe Spider-Man. Maybe Spider-Man might be there, but I don't know that I'm as knowledgeable as other people around Spider-Man.
Nobody said. I didn't think the pretense of this question was whether you are the most knowledgeable person in that area.
True.
I would have picked you for a different kind of TED talk.
Yeah.
And I would have posited that I think you could teach people how to assert when you're right when unequivocally everyone around you is telling you otherwise.
See, now I was thinking more about
Going Against the Grain by Justin.
a talk on how to get the most out of your $5 bottle of wine.
Oh, you can suck the joy out of that thing.
You put it in your
Like a
crotch.
$5 hooker.
I would like to do one. I reckon you should do
you
one.
can do one, actually,
I
yeah.
reckon you should do one about how to run a D&D campaign where you don't need to roll
Oh,
because you suck at it.
I do suck at it, and I've created characters that specifically don't roll because of it. Now, interestingly, I think it'd be a nice thing if we all went around the table and we said what we thought the other people were going to
See,
say.
I
We
was
all
just
know
thinking-
that Luke was going to say kung fu or something.
because
martial arts.
the other one I had in mind was a TED talk on how to play a role playing game without never reading a rule
Oh,
book.
perfect. Perfect. How to be a shit DM. I could do that one. That would be right in my wheelhouse. See, I thought you would go down something a bit different. I thought you'd do some Warhammery things or maybe something to do with model painting, like painting miniatures, something along those lines. I could probably do a TED talk on action figures. That's what I would actually do my TED talk on right now. Action figures or the history of Fender guitars.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. That was just something that came to my head. So, yeah, there's probably a lot more things I could do TED Talks on. But
Yeah.
I wonder if I've got a TED talk about tolerance.
I like that you've talked about like feelings and emotions. Like we've all gone for actual knowledgeable subjects where you've actually gone for something ethereal that nobody can prove you right or wrong. Good choice. I would use that in my TED talk about being wrong and never admitting it.
And see, this will form part of the tolerance TED talk, I think, where I'm trying to talk about tolerance and Justin just jumps in over the top.
Would you call that the ITF?
I would have thought, well, actually, it's a good thing you're the only one that's actually kind of doing a TED Talk that could lead back to our podcast. So bravo on that.
Who, me?
Yeah. Because, you're talking about adults never stopping to play.
Oh,
Which is
That
what
actually
we're
was a genuine
about to
compliment.
do
That's
right
made
now.
this
The
made me
fuck?
feel really awkward.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now I want to look at Justin's crotch again. Yeah.
Speaking of Bravo, you could, with the amount of reality TV shows that you've watched recently, Vanderpump Rules, the Real Housewives, you and I could probably start a break off of the husband of the Real Housewife watchers or something along those lines.
I had this thing that I was going to do for socials, and Rachel's like, it's too late. By the time it comes out, it'll be way past. And because she's been making me watch Scandival.
Oh, yeah.
And
What?
Tom Scandival.
Tom Scandival.
I don't know what that is.
It's the
Tom
Scandival
Sandoval.
scandal.
He cheated on his girlfriend of 9 years with
Kristen.
one of
no,
her
not
best friends.
Kristen. She's got a K.
I don't know
name or
their names.
something like that.
Ariana?
Ariana
With-
Grande.
I don't know the name.
With
She's
another
the
one
name.
that I don't know. But I know
Raquel.
What I didn't, I thought that he would have actually cheated with Tom.
Yeah.
I thought
My
Tom-
thing,
Tom-
though,
Oh, sorry, guys. I was
What
looking for a
the fuck is
D&D
this podcast? We've got a new podcast now about
my
what
thing
we're
about the
forced to watch.
socials is he's lost so many followers. But you know what would really stick it to him? If all you people that are going to stop
You people.
following Tom Sandoval, come and follow Fumble
yeah.
Through.
We are not worms with moustaches.
It's true.
The only way they'd find out is if they were listening to us.
Yep. So make sure you hashtag
In the first place.
Scandival.
Okay.
Put that on your hash.
Better than
hashtag
Scandival.
list. Better than Scandival. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll send you
Better
the spelling
than
later.
hashtag Scandival.
Yep.
Yeah. I like it.
This is what we're going to start doing. I'm going to start doing.
Hashtag better than Scandival.
Where this comes from, what you guys don't understand is that Lindsay and I have a secret text channel where when we are forced to sit down and watch reality TV show with our other halves, that we both send each other stuff. And Lindsay, to his credit, is sending me things. I don't know if they're coming from your wife, but sending me things that I show my wife that she laughs and then tells me to send you back stuff, to which I'm like, no, I'm not sending that back.
One day they'll actually talk to each other and then we'll be free.
Yeah, without the conduit of us between them.
I have no fucking idea why I bought $100 worth of D&D shit.
Give him the pins back.
Speaking of, let's get back to the game. The real reason why we are here. Lindsay, have you got something for us?
Yes, so as we know, we last left off, we were exploring the Dragon Barrow. And this is what was happening. J.R. Lockwood was searching for traps, and as he was doing so, he had, his new friend, the skeletal horse.
Scofflin.
Yep. Oh, yeah. So as he was about to go check this trap for tunnels, he had backed up. He was like singing a song, and he was about to throw a rock at it, and this is the song he was singing.
Oh.
His body be the palest white, his eye sockets as dark as night, his bones do rattle as he trots, but he gets you out of very tight spots. He's Scuffling, the skeletal horse. His life long ago ran its course, but he still lives on through undeath, even though he can't draw a single breath. JR treated him with kindness and care. Now Scuffling goes with him everywhere. I'll set this trap off this trap with any luck. What's that rumbling?
And I want to thank you for giving me the best day of my life.
So
Lindsay got that.
That was good.
that one wasn't even a ChatGPT song. That was
I thought
a
that was
Lindsay
amazing.
original.
Yeah, that was really
Snapchat
good.
AI, right?
That was really good.
It's very good. If anyone out there knows music and wants to
Help Lindsay.
put that to a tune, that'd be great.
It's very dwarven,
Yeah.
the way that you did
Well, it's
that.
halfling, like you might
It
say.
was underground, so you had to use
Yeah,
the
yeah.
natural resonance of the
inspiration.
stone
Yep, I like it.
to, bolster his.
Speaking of trapped underground, there's
Going
a rule.
underground.
There's a rule that I'd like to go through. It's called suffocating. So, suffocating. A creature can hold its breath for a number of minutes, which I find a little long, equal to 1 plus its constitution modifier. That's a minimum of 30 seconds. So 1 plus your
so if it's a minus
constitution modifier. So do you have a plus constitution modifier or a negative one?
I have a plus.
Okay. So that,
0.
Plus 1.
plus 1. Okay. When a creature runs out of breath or is choking, it can survive for a number of rounds equal to its constitution modifier, minimum 1 round. At the start of its next turn, it drops to 0 hit points and is dying. It cannot regain its hit points or be stabilized until it can breathe again. Now, unfortunately, we're in that sort of second. We're not holding our breath. We are covered in dirt. So what we find is we come out and we see Nicron and we see Maradius. You just watched the tunnel. So what really happened was JR moved back a bit, because I know JR was halfway through the tunnel, which would have been much worse, and he moved back a little bit towards the front end of the tunnel before setting off the trap and the whole tunnel collapsing. So you guys just saw the whole top of the tunnel just
dirt
collapse
or rubble,
straight on.
or
Dirt
both?
and rubble.
Dirt and rubble.
Dirt
so there could be
and
space.
rubble.
Hang on. Where does
And
it say
stuff.
about the suffocating? If you just added that in to
What?
just be difficult, or
No, he's suffocating.
Show him the campaign guide.
Yeah, he is suffocating. Okay, so what we've got here, because I believe the way that they're saying is because there's so much weight on top of him. He really can't do anything. He can't move. He's blinded, restrained, and has total cover. So that's really good. But so. What are you guys going to do? You've seen this come down. The dust settles, taking about 4 or 5 minutes. So you probably just stand there while he dies.
Maradius is thinking about his Earth-like heritage, and he's just remembering if he can, checking the path forward to see if it looks like difficult terrain or impassable terrain or what that might be.
The tunnel's full of dirt and rock.
It's a difficult terrain.
Are you a bit jealous? Are you a bit jealous of this?
Oh,
Is that
no.
what's going on here? You're like, oh, that should be me.
I've been embraced by the Earth Mother.
Yeah. So the tunnel that was very narrow. Remember, this tunnel was only 2 feet wide.
Yep.
As it was like quite small, and you had to sort of crawl through, which is why JR went through as the smallest creature of the lot. And the whole thing has just been collapsed on him.
Meridius is going to start trying to dig him out.
Start digging him out.
Or digging to him.
Okay. You can move some of the dirt. So you begin digging him out. Do you have any tools? Do you have any actual things that you're doing, or are you just...
Meridius is a tool.
Well, given it's rubble, I don't have a shovel, and I don't think my axe is going to help unless I can use like the flat of the blade of the axe to kind of use it as a scoop and kind of pull the dirt away. That's what he'd do.
So you just sort of just start frantically moving dirt behind you. What about you? Have you got anything to help in this situation?
So I'm going to
Nightcrawler?
take the role of a foreman.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to stand and observe Radius.
Okay.
No, seriously though, I don't know
Good
what
job.
I can do because I'm not even supposed to be underground because I hate it.
Yeah.
And every
This is why you hate it,
Every
right?
spell, yeah, exactly right. Every spell that I've got is about burning things at the moment. So can I turn the dirt? Is it sand?
No.
Oh, so I can't turn it to glass.
To glass. What about molten lava?
Well,
You
I
know
thought
what's-
glass, then smash the glass and turn it back to
You
dust.
know what's not heavy? Molten lava. It runs past everything.
No, I'm looking desperately at prestidigitation. That's not going to do much, is it?
Yeah.
Mage hand.
You know what's a real letdown?
You wouldn't break your cuticles.
What's a real letdown is that I kind of looked at this and I was like, JR would be what? Maybe 10, 15 feet from the entrance when he threw the rock because there's a bit of a bend in there. Shouldn't be too far. It actually takes you, and I'm reading the rules here, it takes you 3 actions before you get to his feet. So 3 6-second rounds. 18 seconds later, you've uncovered enough stone that you get to his feet.
Hang on. I thought it was he only had 12 seconds before he suffocates.
Uh-huh.
I have a minute.
Oh, I thought it was rounds, 2 rounds.
No, it's 1 minute
That
per
does,
constitution modifier. Told
no,
you,
well,
bro.
it's a number of rounds equal to your constitution modifier.
So that's 12 seconds, right?
Equal to a minimum of 1 round. That is after the round after. So it takes, you get to him.
As he's dying.
Oh yeah, I did. I actually thought it was more than.
I was listening.
I thought it was.
Yeah, me too.
I actually, you know what? I didn't realize it was that dire because I thought it was his constitution
pretty fucking
score.
bad.
No.
I actually thought I didn't read modifier for the second one.
I don't know what you're reading. Mine says a creature can hold its breath for a number of minutes.
Yeah, but you're not holding your breath.
You are suffocating
The
straight
problem
away.
is you've run out of breath
You
or he's
are
choking.
compressed.
You're in
Can
Can
that
you not make a
cannot
roll to
hold
see if
your
you can make a reflex hold his breath or something like that?
So, well, but it takes him 3 rounds to get there. So, including the first round where you react and then you start going, it's
If it starts suffocating, it has 2 rounds to reach air before it drops to 0 hit points.
yeah.
So it'd be 0 hit points.
So what saved your life there, Lindsay, was the fact that you actually stated that you move back before you throw the rocks down the narrow
I've only
tunnel.
saved his feet. The rest of his body is still covered.
Still time to go.
Yeah, but halflings breathe through their feet. That's why they can't wear shoes.
Right.
It's a well-known fact, Brett. I don't know what.
So I'm unconscious. Oh, am I 0? So
No, you've taken no damage. What? Oh, you are unconscious at this point. So
unconscious.
yes. So you've dropped to 0 hit points.
Breathing through
But
your feet.
you find that you pull him out and he is breathing.
Breathing but unconscious.
That's correct.
All right.
Um,
That wasn't as dire as I was thinking
It's
it was.
dire enough. I mean, I really underplayed that last bit. I should, as a good GM, my pants are wet. I've had a bit of alcohol,
there's
which
a
I
moment
haven't
there-
been drinking.
It's a moment in my brain when you were like, it's 18 seconds. I was like,
He's
pretty sure
dead.
2 rounds is 12.
yeah.
We're dead.
Yeah. 3 rounds is about.
Hand waved death of a character.
Yeah. No, I gave him the first round as the, you guys would have gone in there.
Cool.
Yeah. So, but what are you going to do? You've got a halfling that's
Half-dead
a half-dead halfling that's in front of you, and a collapsed tunnel.
Are there any other tunnels? Or
No,
upset?
but you only have ways out of here. Remember, on the way in, you found a pit trap as well. So I'll just remind you of that. I think Maradius found that pit trap twice.
And there was some thorough.
Bit of acupuncture.
There were 3 floating lights.
Yep.
Will-o-wisps. Was that what they were? Yeah.
Well, we still need to investigate this collapsed area.
Well, we can't go any further if it's collapsed, right? Or we,
Well, I just got 15 feet in 18 seconds.
15 feet in and 2 feet out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are we going to get JR up? Have you got any way to...
It'll come to it in a minute. It'll be fine.
What are the rules of
Like, is
coming
he-
to naturally?
Are you unconscious?
He's unconscious,
So
but he's
is it a
breathing.
slap
He's
and he
on
wakes
0 hit points.
Can I tickle? I'll tell you what. I'll tickle his feet with my feathers, my cloaca feathers.
That got specific.
Yeah,
Are they big or small, would you think?
soft,
It was the...
Matted.
soft, strong, and incredibly long.
The-
I'm not in the right podcast.
We've covered many niches.
There was an ASMR component to that as well.
I'm just looking up.
Yes, you are.
Yep.
So anyway, what's the plan here? You've got a tunnel, you can excavate it. You probably realise that JR moved. He was almost halfway before he found the pressure point, and he's moved 15 foot back to get 15 foot in. So the tunnel is quite a large area. The problem that you've got is...
But we don't know whether the entire tunnel is collapsed,
It's
though,
2
right?
foot wide. So
We couldn't get through it anyway,
You
could we?
getting in there is squeezy, and
Yeah.
from the 15 foot onwards, it actually gets quite a lot harder to excavate,
Yeah.
which also played in Lindsay's favour for that. I can't kill him. He's right. Well, he's rolling something.
I'll regain consciousness in an hour.
Okay.
Okay.
Can
So
we
what are you going
expedite
to
that any better, or
what are you going to do in that hour?
Me, I'm going to slay there.
Well,
slay there?
I wonder if we lay him out here, no one's coming through that tunnel, and then we can keep exploring.
I'm not overly keen on leaving a prone character unconscious while we.
Prop him up then.
Put me on the horse. Scoffley.
I'm very happy to have a rest and wait here until he regains consciousness. It could be an hour, it could be 2, could be 3. We don't know.
Okay. I could sleep.
So you hunker down into the room that you've got. Again, this room partially is collapsed on the other side, remember, and this is where you found the remains of a bit of a southern niche in the cavern where you saw the skeleton remains of a horse, which you picked up. So that's where you found Scofflin with his rotted kind of saddle and a little kind of plaque that was there. So you're sitting in total darkness. So unless you have light, you are sitting in total darkness under the earth in a very earthen smelling cavern.
I've got torches, so that's fine. I've also got a tinder box, and so I'd make a little light, and I think we would hunker down here and take a short rest while he's recovering.
Mm-hmm. About 15 minutes in, you're kind of sitting there when you see flashing lights up ahead down the corridor from whence you came in.
Similar lights to what we saw before.
Very similar to what you saw before. Maybe at that ring area where you came down. Remember there was the ring circle
bottom
of
the
stairs and then a ring around that stair area that you came in. You think that maybe some of the lights are back in that area as
Just
well.
quieten down and stay here.
Mm-hmm.
Cause no trouble.
Mm-hmm. You see the lights eventually start coming closer and they're moving away. And then they come a bit closer and they move away. You know, a couple of minutes goes past, the lights come back again, they get even closer, and they move away. Probably about half an hour has passed at this point in time. Are you going to do anything?
Just taking care of JR, making sure he's comfortable and keeping a good eye out on what's coming. I can't really rest while this is happening. I've got to be alert to the incursion of these lights.
Eventually, after about 45 minutes to 50 minutes, the ball of light comes into view in the corridor. It moves all the way up, flashes onto a ball of light, and then moves back out into that circular corridor, comes back up, and then you see two of them come up, sort of flash into light, and then move back out again.
Would an act of grabbing one of them be taken as an attack?
How about you find out?
Well, I'm just thinking.
I'm not sure, Trump.
Just because Mage Hand says the hand can't attack, activate magic items or carry more than 10 pounds.
Yeah.
So if I cast Mage Hand and try and grab one, would that be considered an offensive maneuver?
Well, what would you think?
I mean, aiming on the idea that yes, it would.
Yeah, I
which
would
is-
think that trying to grab something that's moving back and forth and imprisoning it in a hand would not be the.
I'm not trying to imprison him.
If
Just trying to coax it a little closer to me.
Oh, you're just going to swat it,
Not swat it, just gently
Luke,
push.
cup it.
Luke, if I grabbed your balls and put them close to me, would
Whoa,
that be a
whoa! I'm not grabbing his
Well, but
genitalia.
hey, don't do it.
Hi. Way to make it weird, Lindsay.
You don't have to act it out, Lindsay. Jesus, stop it.
Yep, they're still wet.
Although mine are cold. The yeah. So, are you going?
No. I just Yeah.
Yeah, and all the way up until about an hour when you hear, and JR starts to melodically breathe in and out. La, 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 la.
So to place a hand over a mouth and nose to stop breathing, would that be considered an attack?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
18 seconds, I think.
Yeah, that's why it's taken an hour, because you finally take your hand off of
That's
his
it.
mouth.
Mage Hand.
I've been sitting on his chest just to make sure he's
to
safe.
get there. But the lights continue to sort of come closer and closer, almost like they're kind of probing into the room, for want of a better word that's not going to make you giggle. But they come in, sort of explore, and then retreat again, almost like they're kind of
Checking it
imagine
out.
like little kids having a look. You get that sense of an idea from them. Like they're kind of poking their head around the corner, seeing you, and then running away.
Well, as long as they're not going to attack, then they can do whatever they damn please.
What's happened where I'm at?
Well, you decided to have a rock bath.
Oh, yes. I was trying to set off the trap from a distance, but apparently it was a fairly big trap.
One rock turned into many rocks.
Indeed. I'm just going to cast some healing on myself.
Oh,
Oh, did you cop damage?
Oh, yes, a lot.
I thought you were just unconscious. You took no damage, though.
Nobody said anything about damage.
You
Pretty
just were unconscious.
No, he's on his 0 hit points.
Oh.
0 hit points.
You took a very specific amount of damage from those
Indeed,
rocks.
yes. This is going to be a very specific... A lot of healing is going to be required.
We could rest here for a while.
Hang on, the hour rest, doesn't he get those hit points back for a short rest?
No, because I'm not resting.
Because he's not resting, he's unconscious. So he's still sitting at 0 hit
Well,
points.
no, I'm now on 1 because
On
I've
1 hit
regained
point.
conscious.
Yeah.
Good to go then.
We could wait here for a while and you could rest up.
Oh, yes, that would be lovely.
We've waited an hour. We can wait one more.
Okay, I'll play a little ditty on my thing and
No,
use...
no, you need to rest, JR. Rest.
Yes.
Rest.
Restful music.
Rest your ears.
And you
Rest your
stay
hands.
there for another hour. Are you hunkering down in this room?
Yeah, I'm hitting a short rest.
Okay. All right. Just before you hit that button. though.
Oh,
Well, you can hit it once anyway, because you've already had a short rest.
was that a
That
short
was the
rest
end of the
considered?
hour.
Yeah.
So JR wakes up and starts to sort of play his little song, making a bit of noise. I would assume, like, I in my mind, I feel like Maradius and and Nikron aren't the most chatty of Cathys, and that there's not a lot of talking. That there's a bit of stoicism and silence.
Well, especially with these little lights coming in and out,
Yeah,
it's making me
in
very,
the
very
hour.
nervous in the enclosed area that I'm in.
As soon as the sound happens, though, the lights come into the room, and you see one of the lights specifically move all the way up into the room over the 10-foot, the 5-foot little gap where the pit trap was. Moves in. You see lights in the background, but you can't actually see the globes themselves. And it moves in. It flares. It kind of pulses with a bit of light. Moves all the way up to JR. And as JR's singing, it kind of pulses in line with JR's kind of melody as you're playing your lute, or are you playing an instrument?
Yeah, mandolin.
As you're playing your mandolin, it kind of pulses a little bit to there, and it kind of wobbles back and forwards a little bit, like it's transfixed by it, and it moves even closer and closer, and then it kind of moves right up to your hand, and it touches you and moves straight into your hand.
Oh.
Did you give consent?
At which point you take
20 points of damage.
Jesus 11 points of damage.
Seriously?
Yep. as lightning strikes through your body, zapping you and kind of transfixing you a little bit as you kind of go and you are there. You know what I am going to do though? What I didn't do there is I didn't roll to hit, so I'm actually going to fuck off.
Critical?
No, the
Fumble.
opposite.
Ah!
I got the skull on the D&D dice. That is a natural one. And lightning pulses through your mandolin, as you can see, an electric attack.
It's like, wow.
Creating an electric sound like nobody's ever heard before. As this thing kind of coaxed all the way up and just went, zzz, and you see like parts of the metal spark a little bit and you get like an electric shock at this point as it really does electrify, but you are touching all of the rubber parts of your mandolin. So, or your feet are off the floor at this point in time. So you
All
get
the glue bits.
Yeah, you get 0 zapped, but this ball of light is right up in your grill. At this point in time, if you would like to, you can make some initiative checks.
Oh, yes.
I was so nice to you people then, and then it does this to me. So, Nikron, what did you get?
I rolled a natural 20, so it's 22 for the initiative. Thank you.
22. What did you get, JR?
6.
6. And you, Maradius?
I rolled a 14 on my new dice, which I'm very, very happy with.
Yeah. Giving you a?
15. No, 15.
15. Okay, so you get a 15 on your initiative check, which, guys, I'm afraid to tell you isn't enough to have beat this ball of light. The ball of light, which is standing right in front of JR Lockwood, goes first because it has an unnaturally large initiative check. And once again, JR kind of zips around you, kind of moves around you. It's tiny, so it's very small, and it kind of turns a reddish color because it hasn't hit you. You hear it crackle. It zaps up a little bit more, and it attempts to hit you one more time, you noise-making motherfucker. That is a 21 to hit you this time.
That will do it.
Okay. This time, of course I'm not going to... Oh, fuck off. That's a roll, really? You take 5 points, 2d8, and you take 5 points of damage. Last time you took 14. Fuck off. I'm so angry.
I'm still unconscious.
Oh, yeah, of course you are.
No. Hang on. Doesn't that defibrillate you and bring you back round?
Yeah. Which brings us to
I would have
Nikron.
been like, whoa, wow, cool.
And that brings us to
Okay,
Nikron.
so does a 20 hit it?
Does a 20 hit it? It certainly does. What are you hitting it with?
So a firebolt shoots out of my hand
Uh-huh.
for a grand total of 11 points of damage.
11 points. The fireball hits it, kind of moves around it, and you feel like not all of the damage actually went through.
I know what I'm going to use next.
Fireball.
What does happen though?
Fill the entire...
What
Yeah.
does happen is it passes straight through it and it hits your companion behind it. No.
I'm on the ground, ducks.
Yeah. Maradius.
Marius is just going to stand over JR defensively, trying to protect his body. Shield up.
Yeah, it's a very valuable body.
Okay, so you move in between the kind of
Yep.
ball of light and JR. You stand over JR's prone body.
Women will pay good money for this body once rigor
At
mortis
this
sets
point in
in.
time. The light in front of you kind of it glows really, really brightly, almost blinding you a little bit in this darkness, and then blink, disappears, goes straight to darkness. The room is plunged into darkness, but what you do see is pulsing lights up and down the hallway. Up ahead, after a moment or two, you can see like pulse up the hallway. Like, there's some type of communication. Remember, it was pulsing to communicate with you almost at one point. You see that as multiple lights seem to be pulsing up there.
So it's not a rave, it's just
Oh,
No.
what is it? Oh, it's a rave.
No. Nikron.
Again, already?
Mhm.
Oh. I'll just ready in action. Next time I see something, I'm gonna
I need to do a death save, right?
Mm-hmm.
Getting rid of the old magic missiles ready.
Oh, yes, you do need to do one for this round.
Yes.
Okay. So, Nikron, you're just going to hold this round until...
I'm very skittish underground. Now
Yep.
I've got little balls of light that are zapping people.
Yep.
and seem to be immune to most of my spells because they're all fire-based.
Yeah. Maradius, what are you going to do?
There's nothing to be seen, so he's just going to hold over JR's body and make sure nothing attacks him. Can he do a quick check on JR, make sure he's still living and...
Do you have any skills in this
to
area?
stabilize a medicine check to stabilize him
Okay,
if
go
need be.
nuts.
17.
So you stabilize JR with that medicine check. What happens next is another death throw, or you don't have to do them now that you're stabilized.
I just got to wait.
For a while before something
2
happens.
hours.
So you see 2 balls of light come through the room. They kind of move a little bit tentatively. One of the balls of light is quite bright and the other one is flickering, almost like it's broken somewhat. So it's kind of like like a fluoro light that's got a broken kind of header
it's got
to
a
it,
bad
and it's
start.
it's got that flickery kind of look to it. And the flickering one seems to move very slowly towards J.R. Lockwood's prone body.
So Maradius will insert his shield between light and body. Try and block that. Take the hit if need be.
Okay, so are you going to try and swat it? Are you going to try and hit it? What are you going to do?
I'll bull rush it back or push it away.
Bull rush.
How is it getting past me to JR?
What? It just seems to be going straight through. It doesn't care whether or not you've seen this thing. Remember, you saw these things go through stuff. Remember, you went
Will a
through
wisp
a
don't give
wall.
no fuck?
So you know that they can go incorporeal. You've seen it go through a
So
wall.
there's no way I can stop it anyway.
If it really wants to, but you could try and hit it.
While
guess
it's
is
passing through you.
I'll try and shield bash it with my shield.
Okay, perfect.
Is it a metal shield or a wooden shield?
It's a +1 shield that I've recently acquired.
+1 shield.
Is it metal or wooden?
Make your attack.
Don't know.
Is it
It's
conductive,
metal.
I believe,
It's
is what
metal.
Lindsay's trying to ask.
It is metal. The attack is 8 or 9. It's less than 10.
Oh, that is not enough. As you kind of go through, it zips out of the way. It kind of evades you with a very dexterous kind of maneuver. So it kind of moves out of the way and it continues to move towards J.R. Lockwood. J.R., what are you at the moment? You're unconscious still. You're
Yep.
still
It's stable.
prone. You're stable.
So if I am left alone, I roll you roll a 1d4.
Yep.
And that's how many hours you got to wait to regain conscious normally. So I'm on 2 hours this time. So just go and
Okay.
chill for 2 hours.
And with your movement then, Maradius, because you were sort of, I took you as holding and waiting over the top. So you've now moved after the wisps themselves
Fair cop.
move. That brings us to Nikron. What are you going to do as this thing starts? You can see its intent is to move back towards J.R. Lockwood. There is also another one in the room as well.
So when I'm looking at them, one of them, the one that's like got the flicker, is the one
Yeah.
that's heading towards Lockwood.
Yeah.
And what kind of color is it?
It's can I describe a ball as perhaps listing to one side and flickering?
Listing.
Yeah, it's kind of got a dull kind of blue kind of to it. It's much duller than the other one. It's certainly not as bright as the
And the other
one.
one's blue as well.
And the other one's white and like more of a white color.
Can I tell which one was the one that zapped him in the first place?
You can't really, if you had to pick,
They all look the same?
the brighter one looks like the one that was in here in the first place.
Okay. And how close is it to Lockwood now?
Almost in his grill. Like it will reach him at the end of this
Well,
turn.
there's no way I can cast anything that's going to actually do anything without killing Lockwood at the same time. So I guess I'm just going to have to hope for the best.
You're not going to zap it again.
Well, if I fire something at it and I miss, do I not run the risk of hitting him?
I don't think the rules of D&D are that as nasty as they are in Pathfinder. Even Pathfinder aren't that terrible.
I'll just ready an action then to, if it looks like it's going south, to...
Okay, so you just wait and
Yeah.
see at this point.
Because
JR,
Radius is right over him as
you
well,
are
isn't he?
on the floor. It begins to move. It's almost like time slows down as this thing flickers. It lists. It kind of pulses as it kind of flickers out and it moves towards JR. And you can see it intently moving to a bare patch of skin on JR as if it's going to touch him.
Ta-da.
Death Blossom.
Are you going to do anything?
No.
No? Are you going to do anything?
Yes, I'll try and smack it away with my
Okay.
shield.
So this is Maradius. You are going to attempt to smack it away with your shield.
Yep.
Go.
Go.
21 to hit.
A 21 to hit. Your shield slams down in between it and JR, doing what is your shield damage?
I'm assuming, Justin, that it's just a improvised object, which is a
I'll give you a 1d6 for a shield bash. I'm going to use my
an automatic
Pathfinder.
3.
It's an automatic 3.
Mm.
Oh my god!
Unarmed strike, melee
surely,
attack.
No, but surely a shield would have something.
It's a +1 shield, so maybe 4.
Yeah. Go-
I'll take it.
Yeah, I would probably say you want to put your strength behind it. Like it's not like you're using your fist or kind of a bottle to hit something. Like, a shield bash is actually a thing. Give me 1d6 plus your strength, Brett. That's what we're going to go for.
All right then.
Fumble through.
+1 for magical, by the way.
Plus my strength bonus.
Uh-huh.
So that'll be 8 points of damage.
8 points of damage as you swat this piece or this ball kind of away from Maradius. You see it flicker a bit more and it dulls as you hit it. It gets even duller. It lists even more and you can see some of the light in it starts to disappear and there are kind of darkness cracks that form in there. The one on the other side brightens to an even brighter, kind of almost turns from blue to a red color as if to say, I'm not very happy with you right now. Bringing Nikron, are you going to do anything?
Maradius is going to take a second attack.
Yep.
Because he can attack twice
Yep.
in a round.
Perfect.
And he's going to say...
I didn't think you were that good.
Neither did I. He's going to say, step away from him and leave him alone. We mean you no harm, but we will not let you attack our friend.
Mm-hmm.
As he rolls an actual 20
Okay. To hit it again?
to hit it again.
Okay. Double that's a crit.
So roll twice,
Roll twice, add your strength once.
add my strength, add +1.
Yep.
I rolled 2 6s on my D6, plus strength of 2, +1, 15.
Now, I'm not a cricketer. I'm not a sporting person. But imagine Shane Warne hitting a ball because that's
Can't.
what he was famous for. Imagine Imran Khan hitting a ball because that's what he was famous for. Imagine Craig Ian Botham hitting a ball because that's what he's Imagine a cricketer hitting a ball but using a shield instead as the ball smacks across the room and you can see shards of light emanate as an electrical charge goes and it kind of just peters out. And you see, rather than it disappear, parts of it almost fall into nothingness as it dissipates and it kind of moves away. The other one strikes red. And the first thing that it does after your action, which gives Nikron a go just before this thing moves.
I'm having no part of this.
Fucking hell.
It strikes.
Righto.
It strikes straight in at Maradius's body, almost like it's seeking revenge, and it is going to try to.
I think
touch
we've made
you.
a mistake here. We've made a mistake.
18 to hit you.
I'm a class 17.
That is going to do its dastardly business as electricity flows through your body for 10 points of damage, electrical damage.
Ow.
I kind of feel like I was about to get my own spotlight.
Can I take an action now?
You definitely can take an action right now.
3 darts fly out for 11 points of damage
Mm-hmm.
as I cast
Doing-
magic missile.
Oh, magic missile. Just having a look. That is a lot of damage. As you see, all of it seems to hit it, and it kind of rocks, and the lighted ball almost moves and becomes misshapen for a moment as each missile smashes into it. They're feathery, aren't they?
They are. They
Yeah,
are my
little
feathers for my
yeah.
wings. In fact.
That come in, and each of them kind of ping through it. And for a moment, it looks like the Navajo. Is it a baseball thing with the feathers that come out of it? Isn't there a baseball team with feathers?
We don't know sports ball.
Indians,
The Redskins.
I don't know what they are. I think
Cleveland Indians.
it's what did Shane Warne play for?
India.
Well played. Well played. Yes, as you can see, my sports ball references falling flat on the floor. Yes, but it touches you and it zaps you for that amount.
That hurts.
Yeah. That brings us to JR. Can you do anything at this point in time?
Unfortunately,
Unless it's been 2 hours.
if JR was up, he would have said, "Don't worry about it, Meredith. You are earthed."
That's very funny. Maradius, it is your go.
Oh, he's
As
going
this
to.
ball of light is in front of you, looking angry. It's got a red tinge to it. It's almost like it's a frowning emoji face.
It's gone Sith.
Take a 15 to hit with the first shield smack out at.
A 15 passes straight through its body as it seems to turn invisible at just turn ethereal at just the right time.
And then he's going to spin right around with that shield and smack back at it one more time.
Okay, doing?
23 to hit.
That is definitely going to hit.
For 5 points of damage.
Once again, you see a ball hit the wall, splatter into 1,000 light shards and dissipate, falling to the floor as the room becomes dark and silent.
Mirandy's just going to stand there holding the shield and then look to his axe and then look at his shield and kind of think to himself,
You really do a lot more damage with that shield than anything. Just out of game, boys, I'm going to read you something. And this is why you can charge me as being a very nice DM, because I could have done this while JR was on the floor. A Will-O-the-Wisp has something called Consume Life. As a bonus action, the Will-O-Wisp can target one creature it can see within 5 feet of it that has 0 hit points and is still alive. The target must succeed on a DC 10 Constitution saving throw. Now, that's not a hard one to beat against this magic or die.
oh, wow.
If the target dies, the Will-O-Wisp regains 10 hit points.
Oh.
All the Will-O-Wisp wanted to do was live. And now you've killed both of them.
Not at the cost of my friend.
Friend.
JR the Immortal lives on.
Only because your friend saved you this time.
I held
all
off
we
as
are.
long as I could. I held off as long
You
as
really
I could.
did. And can I say, well
thought
done
we'd-
to you, Maradius, because that is probably the most heroic that I have seen your character. You stood over a fallen comrade and you just swung that shield like a real Shane Warne.
I really thought we'd
was a rule of
misjudged
three.
that. And they were just complaining about the noise.
We let them come and go. We attacked. We did nothing to hurt them, and then they hurt
Well, we
JR.
killed one of
But
them.
then he
Earlier.
started playing music.
Yeah, he was playing music, and to give you a bit of an idea,
Magical music as
in
well,
my
wasn't it?
mind, and while D&D
Healing,
doesn't
yeah.
say these things, in my mind, I wanted to give these things a narrative, and one of them was injured, and it needed to be healed, and the only way it knew to heal itself was to steal the life from a creature that comes into the barrow, as it has done so many other times before.
But
How was he getting injured?
if it had listened to my music, it would have gained 1d6 points of healing.
But it's not an ally.
That's its decision, isn't it?
It hasn't signed your charter. You clearly have a charter. Yes, but you find yourself in the Dragon Barrow. It is quiet, it is dark, it is earthy, it is dank.
2 hours.
And then 2 hours later.
I'll take another short rest.
Yeah. So are you doing anything in this time, or are you going to stay in that exact same room?
Stay there unless we see some more of these creatures.
No, you see no darkness. You see, you see no light in the darkness.
I'm going to hit.
the darkness.
Sorry, I'm distracted by Luke putting on
Get a
one of
fucking
your
ring off.
new, one of
I'm
your
trying to get it
new
off.
rings
There, it's off,
that
it's
you've
off,
got,
it's off, it's off.
and then Struckle.
It's the
The one
Dragonite
ring,
ring.
yeah, the one
Yeah.
ring to
That was
rule
like,
them all. And yeah, he's put it on and it's cursed. He can't take it off.
Drains all magic items.
Yeah, forever it's going to be a weird pinky ring
Oh,
that
that's
you
the
have to live
cock ring.
with.
Really? Okay.
It's halfling sized. Yeah, what are you going to do?
Well, I'm staying here having a short rest and continuing to stand over JR while he recuperates.
I enjoy that your job right now. Just the visual of this is you've just sat for, what is it now, 4 hours?
3 hours.
Just in the dark.
Yep.
In
No,
a
I've got a
tomb.
torch.
How long does the torch last for?
Hours and hours and hours.
Forever.
I think
it's
it's
a video
10 hours
game.
or something.
I've got multiple
It's 5 years.
torches.
It goes on as long as you need it to, right?
Yeah. So anyway, JR eventually wakes up. You take another rest. He heals up, I assume. Another hour goes past. You guys live here now.
We've got timeshare.
Yeah. You've become hobbits.
Well, Moradius is quite comfortable here. He doesn't mind it.
Yeah.
I'm hating it.
This is what I'm really, yeah.
I am out of my comfort zone well and truly.
What does
I thought
that
we
look like? For,
I
like-
thought we totally misread. I don't know what to do. I can't even think straight. I thought we totally misread the Will-O-Wisps. I thought they were all good, and it was just JR's music that had upset them. And I wasn't going to zap them, and I thought you were being a little aggressive, but I was like, let's see how it plays out.
We
I
did.
I
and
want to
then
go. I want to go. I want to go.
We have more to explore down here.
Do we? Do we really?
Yes,
It's a caved-in tunnel. Let's go.
Moradius is going to push to find, to explore the rest of the barrow down here and see what else there is to find.
Just by yourself, or are you going to wait
he's
for these two?
He's
Just
gonna-
1 second. I'm still healing myself.
I'm just penning a song.
He's pushing to everyone to go, no,
What
let's not leave just yet. There's
What
more to be
rhymes
seen
with
down here.
Scofflin? What rhymes with wisp? Willow, wisp, willow, wisp, willow.
Okay, that'll do. That was some spells.
And you start heading out from the area where Scofflin's corpse was found, a place that you now call home. It's second nature to you. If you ever had to teleport here, you know it intimately. And you start heading north out the corridor. Are you going to do anything as you walk out the corridor?
I'm going to ride Scotland.
That was a trick question. Thank you for saying it. You jump over the trap, just making sure that you remember that it was
my
there.
second home.
Yeah, and you come to the ring road. The ring road has a couple of roads off it. There are two from where you are. You can kind of go. Imagine a ring
mean a roundabout?
it's like a big roundabout that you can't see through because there's a big. It's a circular corridor, essentially. From where you are to the left, you can see two doors kind of going around the corner. And to the right, you also see two not doors, but passageways that go in there. If you circle all the way around, there's also one directly to the north. So it's almost like it's north, south, east, and west. There's two on the east, two on the west, one on the north, one on the south.
First to the west.
Okay.
Go west.
Okay, so you start moving down to the west. You see the first door or the second corridor on the west?
First.
You go down the first corridor on the west. Eventually, you get to a point where it joins very soon afterwards, about 15 foot down the way in, as a tunnel. And you think the second door is actually a ring road. So there's another little ring here that joins together. There's a dog leg that goes down. Do you follow the dog leg down?
Yes. You
Yes.
first, Moradius.
Yes, I'll take the lead and I'll go quietly.
Okay, so you
Dog leg taking the lead. Love it.
You take the lead and you go quietly. All right. And you move down. You move 5 foot, 10 foot, 15 foot, 30 foot, a bit further down the corridor until you find the pit trap because you didn't tell me that you were.
I've been saying I would check for traps.
Yeah, but you're not in the front.
That's true. That is true.
You do find the trap as Moradius falls down.
After.
No, same time. Moradius, you fall down the trap.
Moradius is all out of sorts. He
Trap again.
remembers pulling out his extendable pole on the way in and checking for traps the
Yeah.
whole way.
I thought, look, I'm not going to be an asshole about this because
Sure, you're not.
I did say the word trap. I tried to remind you about the traps, but I also know that you said you were going to use your poll about it. So just give me a perception check to see whether
You do have danger sense as well. Danger.
Velociraptor.
High voltage.
Perception of
We're the
13.
Oh, my kids.
My perception is 13.
Your perception is 13. As you kind of step on it, you feel the ground move again. You're like, oh shit, this is exactly the same thing that I stood on last time. As the ground kind of moves around, but you kind of figure there's a 5 foot pit trap in that space.
Yep, we avoid that and keep moving.
Okay, you jump over it. You eventually get into what is described in this book as an adventurer's sepulchre. 4 sarcophagi in alcoves contain the mouldy bones of people. You can see there is carvings. One looks to be a bard. One looks to be clericy. One looks to be fightery. And the last, a wizard. You think to yourself,
Where's the monk?
this is what kind of a normal adventuring party looks like. Not fucking shit characters, but just a cleric, rogue, wizard, or even a bard even.
I'm a bard.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Something to anyone that's right.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh,
But you believe
funnily enough, there's not a barbarian in that party.
you believe that this might be the sarcophagi of the adventurers that travelled
Oh.
with the lady Tanamir Alagonda.
So
Check for treasure.
did she
Check for traps first,
Yeah.
please.
did she kill them, or did they all die?
They all died fighting the
same
dragon,
time?
remember?
Ah,
They
okay.
all perished in the dragon fight,
forgot that
including her.
I haven't learned that song yet.
Remember, I read you a whole tale.
Yes, I didn't write it down. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, no. No, I'm sorry. Some of the request to her surviving companions. So these were the companions that didn't survive.
Okay.
Okay. So there were some surviving companions that told the tale. That's how everyone knows
Told the
what's
tale and then were buried alive.
Yeah,
Bloody-
as you did back in those days.
Yeah.
Okay, but they perished fighting as Draka. So you can see all carvings of these guys fighting and how they perished, and there's decorative things that are around there that are rudimentary, I guess, because it's ancient kind of stuff. It's not as sophisticated as normal. As you are walking around though, looking for traps, just make me that perception check for traps, please.
These paintings look like they're done with crayon.
12 for Nikron's perception.
What about you, Maradis?
7.
And you?
19.
You're looking around for traps. I guess for you, you're immediately drawn to your fellow bard, and you're moving around. And like as you're looking for traps, you find a button, and you kind of depress the button a little bit as a piece of stone moves back. In an alcove beyond this stone, you see a lute.
Oh. Is that what you do?
Yep.
Oh, cool.
You pull the lute out
Yeah. Yep.
and die. No, you pull
Hang
the
on.
lute out,
Did you
and
say
it
a
is
lute or loot?
an instrument lute.
Oh, right.
So you pull the lute out of its little alcove. The case has sort of worn away, but the lute itself looks pristine. Like you would think that there'd be rust on the steel strings, or that the cogs that tighten the strings up might have decayed, or some of the wood might have rotted, but it's in perfect condition. And even as you strum it a little bit, it's still in tune.
Can I request it's a flying V?
It is not a flying V.
Oh, shit.
No. It's a gold top Gibson.
Okay.
No.
I do.
That looks impressive there, JR. Almost worth dying for, one would think.
Yeah.
Bring.
We got into trouble for that last time.
It's worth it. I start testing it out.
As soon as you bring rings
200
through,
milliwatts.
you can see notes actually coalesce from the lute visibly.
Oh.
These notes play around as motes in the air, and they move in together, and a small image of an ice dragon forms and flies around the lute for a moment before it sort of dissipates, giving you an idea that this lute, there's something more to it.
There's something more to this suit.
I've got synesthesia. I can see the notes you played.
It's blue.
If nothing else, and this dragon thing doesn't work out, we're rich. I can make us so much money doing songs with this if I can play.
Spoken like a musician.
With
doing
that
songs.
kind of instrument, you will be very popular in the deaf community. Like I can imagine that's what like people talk about like feeling the vibrations of speakers, but you've got the ability to create notes,
so hard
people
to
know what's
sign when
going
your
on.
fingers are on frets.
Good save.
It really is hard to sign when your fingers are on. You're correct. So yeah.
Still
Anyone
looking
else
around-
doing
yeah,
anything?
Keep looking around.
You keep looking around.
Is there any more treasure in here? I'm looking at these paintings. These are quite.
Any more buttons?
I'll keep looking around, but I'm going to do it with disadvantage because I'm too obsessed with my loot.
That's even less than last time.
22 as he starts to move
Yeah,
towards.
you move around, you're looking at the loot, you're like, why don't I get something cool? And you kind of move over to the fighter and you kick the sarcophagus of the fighter and nothing comes out. You kind of move in there, there's a dead body in there and you're like, that's rubbish. I hate this. The cleric goes over there, you knock over a cup that says something like Holy Grail next to it and you're just like, this is rubbish. Throw
Stupid.
it over your shoulder. You go over to the wizard and you're like, as if there's going to be anything good here. This is stupid. And you bang on it. And from around the sarcophagus has an image of a person on it, and the necklace of the person actually bounces up and down a little bit and moves back into place.
Is this as he walks away from it magical? And he's going to step back as he mentions magic.
I'm
gonna
sure.
start playing-
Magician.
I'm going to start playing tense music.
Detect magic.
You detect magic. You detect 5 pings of magic on this necklace.
On the necklace.
Yes,
5
beads on the necklace that are hanging. So imagine like a very nice necklace with these little red beads upon it.
Can I have a closer look and see if I might be able to identify what it is?
Yes. Can you identify it?
Oh, is that an Arcana check?
You will need I believe it's an identify spell in order to do any of this kind of stuff.
I cannot identify. Just detect magic.
Mm-hmm. So you don't identify them, but you pick them up, and there's something about each one of those. You're looking at the beads inside them, and each one of them seems to be almost a flame inside. Yeah, inside each one of those little beads is a small like flame flickering inside it. Like it's almost like an eyeball or a portal into some other area. Each one is like a little mini campfire inside them. It's beautiful. It's mesmerizing. No wonder somebody would keep this as a treasure and a keepsake, because it is absolutely beautiful.
And your insights tell you nothing about that.
No. You can see also that they're hanging off these little threads off the main necklace. You can see a couple of other threads there where, maybe a bead was affixed to that at some point, but it's not there any longer.
Attunement requires you to spend a short rest with the item, and then you understand all its capabilities.
Okay. All right. So you guys find this loot, you find this necklace, but there's nothing else of, you really turn over this room, desecrating the dead bodies and where they fall, being great people, because that's what adventurers do. What are you going to do after you've thoroughly searched this room?
So I could take an Arcana check, apparently. So your intelligence Arcana check measures your ability to recall lore about spells, magic items, eldritch symbols, magic traditions, planes of existence.
I'll give you that.
Do an Arcana check.
Yeah, go for it. I get the feeling the rules of this game are supposed to not be hard.
22 on an Arcana check.
You believe this is a rare item that is called a wondrous item.
A wondrous item. Wondrous.
Called a necklace of fireballs.
Fireballs.
Each one of these beads can be detached and thrown up to 60 feet. When it reaches the end of its trajectory, the bead detonates as a 3rd level fireball spell.
Are you serious?
I am serious.
You're arming me
and
to the teeth.
And there are 5 beads on this necklace.
I reckon you give it to Maradius as a death blossom.
60 feet, you say?
You can hurl multiple beads or even the whole necklace as one action. When you do so, increase the level of the fireball by 1.
Sorry, say that again?
You can throw, so say you throw 2 beads, it's a 4th level fireball spell. Say you throw 3 beads, it's a 5th level. Or you can throw 2 at separate times and it's 2 3rd levels.
So your goal now, Nikron, when we fight this dragon, is to grab that necklace and shove it up its ass.
So you say 50 feet range?
60.
60.
But you got mage hand, so I'll let you play with that. But yes, it has to be hurled. So you think you've tossed over this area. You guys couldn't look happier right now. The only person that's not happy is Maradius, but he's found a shield and a useful one.
Well, I want to look for...
Yeah, he's trying to figure out how to attach the shield to the end of his axe.
Can I... Is there anything on the carving about the sword that we're here looking for?
No, not in this room.
Okay.
Yeah. What are you going to do? Where are you going to move? There's still other areas to explore.
Should we go back out and hit the eastern corridor?
So sorry, to just cut in for a second. There's 5 beads on there.
5 beads.
So I chuck the first one as level 3,
Yeah.
and every one I chuck with it increases the level of the spell by 1.
By 1. Or you can chuck each one of them separately as a
Individually.
3rd.
So I could chuck it as a 7th level. I chuck all
You can
of them
chuck the entire necklace
as
as
a
a 7th
7th
level
level
fireball.
fireball.
What's a 7th level fireball do?
I don't want to look it up yet. I want that to be a surprise when I actually do it.
So no...
I'll look it up. I'll look it up.
And
what's
this is
more
a thing of wonder. This isn't even something that the memory of how to create these have fallen from the world. So you destroying this is almost destroying an artifact of imaginable and wondrous power.
Just wondering if a 3rd level spell, like 7 3rd level spells, is better than 1 7th level spell.
Yeah.
Well, no, 5.
That's a conversation for later.
I got loads of
Where are you going to go next, people?
Oh, yeah.
Just longer range.
Next, back to the ring row
Yep.
and, back to the second
There's no point
So
going the
east or
other-
north?
There's 2 ring roads, isn't there?
Uh-huh.
North.
Okay, so you start moving northwards. You get up a
Looking for traps.
corridor. Again, you find a trap because now you know what to look for. The telltale signs are right there and you know to avoid them. And you move above the traps. What you do see, though, is a room that's a little more majestic than all the other rooms that you have been in here. At the very beginning, you can see 2 sarcophagi in alcoves on either side of the room. In the middle of the room, however, is something absolutely amazing. The skull of a giant dragon
That's pretty cool.
facing northwards. A huge dragon with bones embedded throughout the walls. The skeleton of the dragon almost forming the walls of this entire tomb. And upon the dragon's skull, you can see a long sword set upon it, just resting there in a place of glory and reverence, as 2 sarcophagi are on either side of them. One of them has the statue of a lady and another one of probably a young man, a teenage person that most likely would look like her squire.
Oh. This looks like a place of reverence. And
Indeed. Do you want to... Can you do that check magic thing again? Just... If this is a magical thing, I just don't want to make sure we're not going to trigger anything off by taking it if it's a...
Okay, so Nikon will move up again and do another Arcana check for a 16 on an Arcana check.
Because this looks like a shrine to me, and I don't want to take something off the shrine and trigger some sort of
Somebody
bad
else
thing.
could detect traps. That'd be great.
Take chaps.
it's Justin's pants right now, given the beer's eaten away his crotch.
FYI, 12d6 of fire damage for a 7th level fireball.
You detect magic. The sword glows. Magical.
Okay. I didn't
Special.
say that, but okay, cool.
It looks sharp. It looks bright.
It's a fine
it looks
looking
polished. Didn't you
sword,
say
yeah.
that you got a 16?
I was doing an Arcana check.
Oh, yeah, but
Yeah.
I guess it's the same deal. You believe this is exactly what was called the Alagonda sword.
Oh.
Alaconda!
He said it was in India.
Have a look at the 2 sarcophagi, pay respects to them, check for traps, check for traps, check for traps.
Yep. Make a perception check.
He's a bit dazzled by the looking at the sword all the time.
Yeah.
11.
Okay. Yeah, and you don't find any traps.
So he will talk to the sarcophagus, the lady, and say, "We have great need of your weapon. Forgive us, but we will take it from here and use it to defeat another dragon such as you have, and your name and your legacy shall be honoured as we do so."
Well, very polite, Maradius, but I don't think they can hear you. I think they're dead, not sleeping.
It never harms to honour the dead, to pay homage to the history that's come before, so that you can step in those footsteps and do them honour as you swing a blade of honour like this.
As you were, very, very nicely said.
And then he'll walk up to the dragon's head, stick his hand in it, and grab a sword.
You grasp the hilt of a sword. It feels comfortable. It feels warm in your hands. Like a metal thing should actually feel like it is cold and dead, but you feel a hum and a magical hum and aliveness as the sword tingles a little bit in your grasp. You move it off of its kind of pedestal, if you will, and the sword feels just natural in your hand. It glints in what little torchlight you have in here. As you can see, the blade is sharp. You think in your mind that this blade will kill. But you kind of wave it around for a moment. You look over at that point with the sword in your hand and you can see kind of figures, ethereal figures, move from each sarcophagus. The figure of a lady moves from the sarcophagus you were just kneeling at and talking to, a lady in armor, splendid armor. She has a regalness about her, an air of authority that just permeates from her, and she kind of looks at you. There's no expression that you can kind of see, but what you do see from the other side is a young boy's figure moves out from you, and it looks angry. It looks upset. She looks at him And she kind of shakes her head, but he still looks angry. And he begins to move towards you.
Oh.
As he dissipates, becomes invisible. And we're going to find out what happens next time we play.
Well, Moradis is wishing he had a magic sword, so not these two fine instruments that he's got in his hand.
No wonder the kid doesn't look happy. You're stood on a pedo stool.
Oh. One would think that perhaps if you'd spoken to both sarcophagus, might have paid respect to two people in there, not just one.
Who else is there?
You, Nykrin. You.
Righto. Good kid.
12d6. Pick up sticks.